Okay, at this time, we will begin the October 2nd, 2025 Desoto County School Board meeting. If you'll stand for the pledge, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. At this time, we need to approve the agenda. Are there any additions or deletions that need to be made? Seeing none, Mr. Uppleton, your recommendation.
Madam Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
With Mr. Uppleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
At this time, we have the superintendent's report. Mr. Uppleton.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I have two items that I would like to ask the board to please consider in executive session. First, I have a facility use matter and a litigation matter. Facility use matter and litigation matter. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to welcome Ms. Lindsay Millbrooks, Principal, Lewisburg Elementary School. If she could come to the podium and introduce our teacher spotlight segment.
Good afternoon, and I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity to be here and to have a spotlight for Lewisburg Elementary. We've got some wonderful things happening at our school. This year, we are celebrating 20 years of existence, but more importantly, excellence. So when we were chosen, I knew the perfect teacher to bring along with me to have the presentation. With me, I have Miss Shannon Sullivan. She's my third grade special education med chair. She has 23 years of service here in DeSoto County Schools, so she has been at Lewisburg Elementary since the doors opened. She can tell you things about the school that I don't know yet, so I've got the perfect candidate. But more importantly, she embodies every expectation that I have for my team. She is dedicated to meeting the needs of all the students. She understands the value of inclusiveness. She's got what I've called the old school work ethic. And more importantly, she does exemplify the patriot pride. So it is my pleasure and honor at this time to turn it over to Ms. Shannon Sullivan.
This year, Lewisburg Elementary is celebrating 20 years of existence and excellence. The school was built in 2005, and Ms. Millbrooks chose this year as our school theme. It's our 20 years. Around our school, you can find bulletin boards that bring back the history of Lewisburg Elementary. Students enjoy them, and teachers often stop and reflect on past years. Parents are able to see them while visiting their children for lunch or on event days. The history of our school is on display and establishes a sense of community and shines our patriot pride. Fun fact, Lewisburg started as a K-6 school. And in 2021 transitioned to second and third grade only. We've had 5 administrators. I've worked for all 5, Gloria Hopkins, Amanda Sample, Sherry Anderson, Cynthia Dixon, and now Miss Lindsay Milbrooks for the past 2 years, and we hope to keep her for a long time, well, as long as I'm there. There are currently 8 office staff members, 42 certified teachers, and 23 instructional assistants. Together, we have 700 dedicated years of service to DeSoto County Schools. One thing we want to spotlight that is new this year is our Patriot Block. For 45 minutes, Monday through Friday, we shut down to provide remediation, enrichment, and interventions to all students. All certified staff and instructional assistants have groups of students they pull daily to support their needs. Here are some examples of the excellent instruction occurring during Patriot Blocks. Students are enjoying their small groups and are working hard to meet their goals. Not only do our activity teachers instruct during Patriot Block, they're also supporting our curriculum. Ms. Conley, the music teacher, works hard on creating slides that align with CKLA vocabulary words. She recreates songs to go with popular music that the kids love. She turns the love for music into a love for learning. Here's a fun spotlight on the 3rd grade music class. Ms. Conley uses a popular tune to teach the word meander so students can make connections to their vocabulary.
Oh, yeah. Everybody rock your guitar. Okay? Ready? Everybody rock your guitar. Something on down the corridor. Exactly on the wall, but I really have a car. I can tell it would be long, she could come to me, yeah, me. I could tell it would be long, but you wouldn't have be happy. So I needed this. I moved this morning with that person I was having, but the day I was thinking was you.
Candace Perry, LES's librarian, ensures that she promotes what the students are learning in the units of CKLA by displaying certain titles outside the library. It encourages them to check out books that will help build background knowledge and strengthen classroom discussion. Next, you're seeing how math teachers are using activity-based exploration to understand equal groups and patterns. Our math teachers are working hard to learn and utilize Reveal math curriculum, providing manipulative, getting hands-on, and strengthening their application of concepts is always more fun with candy and treats involved. At the end of each CKLA unit, our students get to celebrate what they have learned. For Asian civilization, the 2nd graders were able to dress up in Asian cultured attire and eat fried rice. They also were able to dress up on Fairy Tale Day and even had a unicorn pony to come visit. Our PTO loves to also shine the spotlight on our teachers, parents, and local businesses come together and provide treats for our staff. The Lewisburg community is overflowing with pride. At LES, we have guest readers and guests that come to provide an opportunity for our students to learn about many topics. For example, Mr. Chris Campbell came to speak to them about entrepreneurship and harvesting honey and sweet corn from his family farm. Speaking of community, have you ever partied like a patriot? If not, be sure to come to Lewisburg's Homecoming Parade. It's a great event that the whole community loves. Next, you will see Coach Calhoun with NDE's Move to Learn program. Teachers and students were able to hear the importance of movement and physical activity and how valuable it is to the learning process. At this time, we want to spotlight what some of our students say about LES. Popsicle Fridays, definitely. That's what their favorite thing. I love everything about school, but recess is my favorite because I can get my wiggles out. I have a lot of wiggles. I love that we have blow-ups at field day. It's fun to get to run through them. My teacher uses magic cards to call on us to answer questions. They let us get on computers, give me hugs, and make me laugh. In my class, we have a scientist of the week, and we get a special chair and do science experiments on Friday. I like the games that help you learn, computer time and brain break videos. Math is my favorite because my teacher lets us figure it out by ourselves first, and then she helps us answer the questions. My teacher lets us play Look It for vocabulary and listens to our stories on Amplify. That is so much fun. We also do Sparkle Sparkle Zap for 7. In closing, LES, Ms. Milbrooks, and I would like to thank you for the opportunity to spotlight our school. Lewisburg Elementary is a community where the love of learning takes place.
All right, thank you. Appreciate the presentation. Y'all do a great job, Lewisburg Elementary School. Appreciate y'all being here today. And y'all are welcome to stay if you want to, but I know y'all had a long day at school, so not gonna hurt our feelings. Always welcome. Thanks again for presenting. We appreciate that. You've done great work. Our next presenter won't be able to leave. He'll have to stay. But I'll ask Mr. Ryan Kirkendall to please come up. And he is going to present on our accountability results. As you know, last Thursday, the Mississippi Department of Education approved the accountability results for the 24-25 school year. And now we will discuss those with us.
Well, good afternoon. It's good to be with you for our yearly appointment to do the accountability results. So these are the results for the 24-25 school year that are currently serve as the letter grades for the 25-26 year. So we want to start with our strategic plan. Obviously, goal 1 is the main one here. Indirectly affects various others, almost all of them, but goal 1 is really what we're obviously talking about here. As a real quick reminder, for the data that I'm about to show you for the 24-25 results, this is what makes up that data. There's going to be some changes that I'm going to talk about at the end, but for the data that I'm going to show you that's based off last year, this is what it is. And just a quick reminder, so it's student proficiency in math and ELA. It is student proficiency in math, ELA, science, and U.S. history. Students meeting growth in math and ELA, the lowest performing students meeting growth in math and ELA, and students, English language learners making progress towards language, and then ACT and HCT work keys performance, and then participation and performance in what's called accelerated courses, which are mainly our dual credit and advanced placement courses, and then graduation, our students graduate. So the results that I'm going to show you, that's still what made up this data. So I don't think it's news at this moment. It's out there, but yes, I am here to tell you that Desoto County Schools for the 25-24 data is an A-rated district. Again, we're very, very proud, and we want to celebrate that. We're very proud for everyone that contributed to this, which is the whole district. It's a team effort. Takes everyone. What I just described to you is the data points. Well, there they are. And there's the actual data points for the district that gives us our total points that led to the A. So this is the grade level proficiency for ELA. You could say since COVID, 4 years since then. And as we will talk about in the last slide, you will see some up and down. You're going to see some up and down across the whole state. There's been a lot of conversation about that, and we'll talk a little bit about that at the end. And that's not uncommon with proficiency by grade level. It was maybe a little bit more pronounced in some areas for the state this year. And that is math. So that is math grade level proficiency. And the same thing as we just talked about there. There were some areas for the state that were down, and you'll see some of those exemplified with us as well. So here are the K-8 accountability results. They are in order of total points. The total points column is the next to last column, and then the letter grade is the very last column. Those are schools that we consider what's called the 700 scale, but in traditional terms, you could just say it's the K-8 schools. And those are the 7 data points that make up the total points, along with some of them have EL. These are the high school results. They are also in order of total points, which is the next to last column. And I'm going to point out something here when we get to the next slide. But yes, those are 8 high schools in order of total points. So this is our slide where we sort of spotlight some things that happened at individual schools. I would like to just point out that like high school would be an A. If this was 2 years ago, a rule change that happened that was required by the USDE 2 years ago required a capping of points. If you look back at this slide, if you look at the math growth low column and you look at one like high school that says 100 down there, that actually should be 111. But a rule capped it at 100, and because of that, they're not an 8. But if that rule wasn't in place, they would have been an 8. Lewisburg High School is number 6, and Hernando High School is number 10 for schools on the 1,000 scale, which basically in traditional terms means the high school scale. Olive Branch High School is number 9 in science proficiency. Lewisburg High is 9, and Hernando High is 10 in reading proficiency. South Haven High is tied for number 1 in math all growth. South Haven High is number 3, and Lake High is number 10 in reading low performing growth. That's a very, very good data point right there. Lewisburg is number 2, and Hernando is number 6 in math proficiency. Olive Branch High School, Horn Lake High School, and South Haven High School are all tied for number 1 in math low performing growth. And then Lewisburg is number 1, Olive Branch is number 6, and Lake Homer is number 7 in graduation. Lake Homer is also number 8 on reading low performing growth. Lewisburg Intermediate is number 7 in 5th grade ELA proficiency in the state. So middle school data gets a little, you have to separate some of that out from elementary data. You just kind of have to go with school names. So that's why I always will give a disclaimer there, because there's a lot of grade configurations across the state. That gets a little bit, they're not set up traditionally like we are everywhere. So Hernando Middle is number 9, and Lewisburg Middle is number 10, as far as we can tell for middle schools, judging by the names. And then Hernando Middle is 6, and Lewisburg Middle is number 9 in reading proficiency. Math all growth. Desoto Central Middle is 4, Hernando Middle 5, Centerville Middle 8, and Lewisburg Middle 9. Judging by that, and then Lewisburg Middle is 3, and Hernando Middle is 4 in math proficiency, and then Hernando Middle is 9 in 7th grade and 8th grade ELA proficiency in the state, and then Lewisburg Middle number 1 in 7th grade math proficiency in the state. Those are just some of the highlights for some of the schools as far as state ranks. So a couple notes. We have our highest graduation rate ever to our knowledge. I put parentheses certainly since 2010, because that's when I started being involved in data. So I can tell you that's proficiency, as I stated, dropped in many areas and overall for all 4 subject areas for the state this year. I don't think that's happened in my tenure that I remember. It might have, but I can't place that. It's not common. But that did happen for the state this year, and growth dropped substantially for math for the state this year. It's a very, very big drop. There have been several possible reasons given for this across the state. The MDE has discussed this quite a bit at both of their August and September state board meetings where they discussed this data. They discussed it for a long time. I don't know anyone, there's probably a multitude of reasons that converged into one. I would say, but it is being talked about. So last year, and obviously what we're doing in our district is just, we're focusing on what we focus on, what we always do. And we're turning that around right now for the 25-26 school year. We started that long before now. Mr. Justin always talks about what a long process this is. We've been working on that for months and months. So I said this last year at this time, and I do want to read this to you because this is going to set the table for the whole next slide. The accountability model is being looked at for changes right now. Remember, I said this last year, the last October. The accountability model is being looked at for changes right now. After changes are made, letter grade cuts will change. This will begin in the year 25-26 with those results. It will be much harder for schools in the district to maintain letter grades at that point moving forward than it has been. Based on what we know now, these changes will not impact 24-25 official results that we will present at this time next year. So as you saw, what I just presented, it did not change that. Now let's talk about the changes that are in play now that when I'm doing this presentation next September or October, that we'll be talking. So the accountability model did change for this year. We're going to talk about 5 changes. Number 1, we do not have U.S. history proficiency anymore. We don't even have the state test anymore. We have a new category replacing it called achievement, and that mainly encompasses diploma endorsements. And just a quick, easy definition of what diploma endorsements are, it's add-ons to the regular diploma. So you go further. Okay, so students achieve more things, so they get an endorsement attitude. Okay. Number 2, you've seen the component called CCR, which stands for College and Career Readiness. In the past, well, that has been changed to assessment. And with that change, there's really 2 things that changed. Well, number 1, there's new assessments included. So in the past for CCR, it was just ACT and ACT work keys. Now we have ACT work keys, SAT, and ASVAB, so the military assessment. And then the other thing that happened is there's new calculation methods with that. So that's, somewhat of a new change, but it's somewhat familiar as well. Number 3, there was 1 change to acceleration that will bring some districts like us down. The MD wanted the participation side of this to be a true percentage. So students that have more than 1 AP test or class, dual credit class, or industry certification test will only get credit for 1 in the participation numerator. So just to make that simple, like if you have a student that takes 2 dual credit classes and also takes the AP test, they only get credit for 1 of the 3. They don't get credit for all 3. So you can see why that might bring points up. And that was a change that the MDU wanted to do because they really wanted to know what was the level of participation by students. And when you give fractional weighting for multiple things for students, it throws that off. That was something they wanted. Number 4, the EL component is changing with the new test, and that is still being worked out now. I don't have a lot of details on that, but it is changing, I can tell you that. And the 5th, and this is the biggest one, the biggest and most important change is the letter grade cuts for all the scales. So the district scale, the elementary, middle scale, and the high school scale, they're being reset. The first meeting was September the 9th. I am blessed to be on the committee that is part of that. We met September the 9th. We're meeting again October the 13th. We are doing, here's what I can tell you. We are doing everything we can as a school district to stay there. But no matter what our data is next year, the number of districts are being drastically reduced simply by changing the score. That is the point of why this reset is happening. So that's what big takeaway is. We've been pointing to this year, and you can Google it and you'll see it everywhere. So yes, the school board is drastically changing, and the entire point of it is to reduce the number of districts. That's all the point. We are only one of 9. This is my concluding sentence. We are only one of only 9 districts that were in A the last 8 years. And why are those 8 years important? Well, that's the 8 years that we've had the same testing system, basically, and the same accountability system. So that's still something to celebrate, and that's still something to be proud of. A lot of people in this room, and all the people at the schools, students, parents, and everybody can contributes to this, because you saw everything that's included in this model, and it's pretty inclusive. Things that happen pre-K to. So, I'll be happy to entertain any questions that anybody has.
I'd like to thank you for the presentation and work that you do. Making our kids' schools what they are.
I appreciate it. It's not me. I'm the messenger, and I'm the voice, and I'm the one who.
We know more than that.
But there's a lot of people that is actually making that what you see there.
We thank you for being, yes, and being on the board and advocating for, we know the students and teachers and everything they do, because we know you take that voice to the board in Jackson for our district. So thank you.
Yes, I appreciate that. I take that very seriously. Doing that again.
Had someone in my office this week talking about how they don't think people understand the scope of what our district faces with the number of students that we have, the number of schools, and trying to streamline everything in the right direction. And great report and a great job by our entire team. I mean, I can commend our students and teachers, administrators, our support staff, the community, everyone being on board there. We do have several members of our academic team here today. Let's give them a round. Invited them to be here today because they've done an excellent job. Our academic team always working every day to help every child succeed. And I'm just proud of all the work of all of our employees and just everybody being on board trying to do the best they can to help our students. And that shows in the results. So, all right.
I'll make our job easy.
Thanks, Mr. Carey.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have our Director of Workforce Development, Ms. Beth Turner.
Good afternoon. I'm excited to be able to share some exciting updates from our workforce development team and what all we have going on so far this school year. As we kind of started out for this school year, we were really looking for kind of a focus for our year this year, as well as just our motto. And so what we are looking at for this school year is every student, every pathway, and every opportunity. And so we really want to make sure that we are communicating out with our schools that no matter what your end goal is, we want to try to provide you the best opportunity that you have to be able to meet that goal. Because it doesn't matter if you're going straight into the workforce or if you are going to a 2-year college or a 4-year college or something way after that or a training program, everybody is going to end up in the workforce. And we want to make sure that you are successful once you do get into the workforce. So that is our motto for this school year and what we were talking about at all of our events and all of our school level meetings that we are doing within our schools. And so one of the big changes that we have focused on for this school year is our school level workforce teams. And so we wanted to make sure that our schools had open communication, whether that was from our work-based learning coordinators, our career coaches, our counselors, our CCR teachers, whoever may be leading those efforts at the school level. We wanted to make sure that we were having open communication and that we were moving in the same direction at that school level. We also wanted to make sure that what was going on at our school level focused on what those overall district ideas that we had for our high schools or our middle schools or our elementary schools. And so with our school level workforce teams, we've already started those. We are meeting several times throughout each 9 weeks. And so that consists of our career coaches, work-based learning, teachers, administrators, counselors at each of our schools. And so we are really focusing on that school level planning because we want to make sure, especially for maybe our career coaches, that they have an idea how to best plan out an event. If there are any needs that they may have or logistical needs that they have, or who should I reach out to for this type of activity, this is who I work with at my school. It also gives our counselors an idea of information that is coming out from that team so that they are talking the same about our ACT or our ACT work keys or the ASVAB and what that plan looks like for the school, that they can make sure that everybody that is talking about those types of assessments or activities all have that same information. So those have been very successful as we have started out this school year. We also have a new program this year that we're working in conjunction with our academic team as our CCR ambassadors. That is staff from our K-12 that are working together just to increase that district awareness. So we had our first meeting right about the time we got ready to start this school year. And so it was an opportunity. It could have been an elementary PE teacher or a counselor or a specific math teacher or English teacher, as well as some of our career coaches and work-based learning, is just to spread the word. And what does this mean? And when we talk about workforce development in the elementary school, what does that really look like? Or also an awareness that when we see these types of assessments, for example, in ACT Work Keys, this is really where some of that information is introduced, or some of those topics and ideas are introduced at these grade levels. So it's just a really great way for us to help spread the word about what workforce development means when you're talking about that K-12. So we're very excited about the start of our CCR ambassadors and look forward to seeing that program grow and that help to spread workforce development, just ideas and a clear awareness for our efforts that we're doing. So we also wanted to provide an update for our career and technical education. This year we have an enrollment of 1,034. You can see the breakdown there for our West Campus has 625, our East Campus has 281, and our satellite campus at Olive Branch and Hernando has 128. We are also serving 318 of our juniors in an online college and career readiness course offered through our CTE programs. So that is helping with some of that overload at our high schools and availability and bring up some sections in their course planning. And it also allows our juniors that are in CTE programs, they receive a lot of the information that is already taught in their CCR classes through their CTE program. And so it allows them to go ahead and earn that credit while they are taking that CTE program and not have to repeat that work again in their CCR class. So I do want to point out that we've had great success with our CTE expansion for this school year. And so thank you so much for allowing us to be able to expand our program for law and public safety at Hernando High School. And so what that allowed us to do is that all of our high schools now have access to either take law and public safety at Hernando High School or the law enforcement and fire science programs at CTC East. So prior to that, Horn Lake and Lake Cormorant were having some logistical concerns with trying to go to the East Campus for that, but by expanding that program to Hernando High School, we now have 4 of our schools that have access to the Hernando High School campus, and the other 4 campuses are able to attend CTC East. So that has been very, very successful. And we were actually able to hire one of our career coaches as the new law and public safety teacher at Hernando High School. In addition, we had open enrollment for our business, marketing, and finance classes at both Olive Branch High School and Hernando High School. So that was another one of the programs that we don't house on our CTE campuses. And so by allowing open enrollment at both Olive Branch and Hernando, all 8 of our high schools now have access to that CTE program as well. And so that has been a very successful expansion of our 2 programs through that. In addition, we started a new educator preparation internship experience for this school year. So we had 5 of our Ed Prep students who completed the program as a junior. So now they are in their senior year, and we're looking for additional connections and additional work through our Ed Prep program. So we have 5 students that are doing a daily internship at these elementary schools at Pleasant Hill, Greenbrook, Overpark, and Lewisburg. So built into their school day is a work-based learning block in which those students are going over every day and working in a classroom at each of those elementary schools. So it has been great. We've seen great success and great support from those elementary principals as well as the teachers. And then once a month, those students are coming back to their Ed Prep CTC class and they're having a faculty meeting. So that has been a wonderful start for that expansion of that program as well. And in addition, we have that group as well as our year 2 students and their teacher that are presenting at a conference at Ole Miss tomorrow. So we're very excited to see them repeat that again for this school year. So just a couple of district-wide initiatives and events that we have going on throughout the school year. We just wrapped up our senior college and career fair that we held at the Landers Center. So thank you for those that were able to make it out for that event. It was a great 2-day event for our seniors. And we also have our graduate hiring event scheduled for May 14th for our seniors as well. We have our junior kickoff to college event that's coming up in March. We have our Bridging the Gap Career Expo for our 10th graders, and that is at the end of October. That is our large hands-on career exploration event that we have at the Landers Center in partnership with the Desoto Economic Council. We have started, for our 8th grade students, we have started tours of our career and technical centers. So we have 4 of our middle schools that are touring our West Campus and 4 of our middle schools that are touring our East Campus. And so those tours are going on through October and November through their Cyber Foundations classes at the middle school as they are looking for career exploration activities in Cyber Foundations. And then we have several of our middle schools that have already scheduled their career fairs for this school year. So that's just a general overview of those district-wide events that we have scheduled so far for this year. And I just wanted to highlight and show a few of our pictures from our senior college and career fair. We chose to go with our same theme from our admin staff development. And so we had a rock theme, which was great. I think everybody enjoyed that theme. We had great music that was playing when the students came in, and it was just created a great positive experience for our students. And then just a collection of some of the other great activities that we had going on. We had students that participated in an aviation exploration day at Olive Branch Airport. We have many of our community members that have come in and read at our elementary schools, or had, for example, South Haven just did Coffee with a Cop, where they went into the South Haven schools and had that event. We've had many of our industry tours going on. We've had parent nights for Northwest to come out at South Haven High School to help with applications. And as you can just see, we have lots of events that are always going on across the district. So we are so excited to get this school year started out with all of the different opportunities and events that we have going on with our students. So as always, thank you for the opportunity to share about workforce development and any of the opportunities. We would love to see you there or be involved or participate in those. So thank you for your support of what we are doing and all of our activities that we have going on.
All right. Great report. Thank you for the report and for the great job you're doing. And I also want to thank our board for allowing me to add this position over a year ago with our workforce development. Ms. Turner is a perfect fit for that job. And as you can see, I mean, we just talked about test scores and academics and growing every student, but the end goal is to make sure the students are prepared post-secondary. When they leave high school, that they're ready for college, or ready for the workforce, the military, whatever it might be. And you can see how those efforts are expanding in both directions. It's not just juniors and seniors anymore. She's got an event, a graduate event. That's something that doesn't fit into the accountability model. What we're trying to do is we're trying to set the seniors up with jobs after high school, because we want them to be successful. And then at the same time, get down into the elementary, middle school levels. I mean, so a lot of great things going on there, and just continue to expand those options for our students. So keep up the great work. Appreciate it. That concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Ms. Russellton and everyone. At this time, we have the attorney's report. Mr.
And we
King.
have no attorney report today.
We'd like to hear that also. Okay, now is the time we need to approve the minutes from the September 18th, 2025 board meeting. I need a motion to approve those minutes, please.
I'll make that motion.
I need a second, please.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. At this time, we need to approve the consent agenda. We have items A through EEE, having no changes. Your recommendation, please.
Madam Chairman, my recommendation is to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, with Mr. Russellton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? I make that motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Now we are at new business. Item A is request to reject bid cafeteria decor package at Lewisburg High School. Mr. Williams.
Yeah, my reverse auction sale for high school cafeteria furnishing. We only received one bid. And the cost exceeded the budgeted amount for the package. It's my recommendation to reject the bid.
With that information, your recommendation, sir.
Madam Chairman, I recommend the board to approve rejecting the bid for the cafeteria decor package for Lewisburg High School.
With Mr. Russellton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the request to reject the bid?
Make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item B is permission to advertise for bids, cafeteria decor package, Lewisburg High School.
So we request permission from the board to rebid with the package for Lewisburg High School cafeteria.
With that information, your recommendation, sir.
Madam Chairman, I recommend the board to approve re-advertising for bids for the cafeteria decor package at Lewisburg High School.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the permission to advertise?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Item C, new board policy DJEDD, bid protest policy, second read, Mr. Kirkendall. Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. This is a new policy to outline our local process. It was presented on September 18th as a first read. There were no public comments. Therefore, we are asking that we adopt this policy as written.
With that information, your recommendation, sir.
Madam Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the new board policy DJEDD, bid protest.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve the new board policy?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Kirkendall. Item D is personnel, Mr. Alexander.
And pages 1 through 3 are recommendations. These 4 and 5 are personnel changes. Page 6, a memo of myself, request approval of correction and payment to who's a part-time pilot tutor who's retired, worked August 12th through September 11th, $30 per hour. Page 7 is a memo from Coach Jenkins, our director of athletics, who will volunteer as a paraprofessional and will assist with coaching as a paraprofessional at Olive Branch High School swimming. Page 8 is a county vehicle assignment allowance for human food services. Pages 9 to 11 are ready to learn coach job description. There were two things added. Data to determine the function and behavior to drive appropriate intervention support and provide on-site assistance and prices with any students to change the job description. Page 12 requests additional pay from Ms. Ingram, our director of federal programs, on teachers at South Haven High School. There will be after-school tutors for students needing supplemental instructions. This will begin 10/3/25 and end on 5/22/26 at $30 per hour. And page 13 through 14 request additional pay from Ms. Ingram on teachers at South Haven Middle School for after-school tutors. Same reason, and that's 10/2/25 through 5/22/26, $30.
Thank you. And your recommendation, sir.
Madam Chairman, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
With Mr. Usleton's recommendation, do I have a motion to approve personnel as presented?
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Item E is student discipline, Mr. Finley.
Madam Chairman, we have student discipline matters for executive session.
Thank you very much. Now we are at the point of public comment at our meeting. As a board, we welcome public participation at our board meetings. While this is not a debate setting or a question and answer session, we reserve this time at our regular board meetings for public comment and for citizens who have requested to appear. Board policy allows 30 minutes for public comment. Public comment involving student matters or personnel matters must be heard one at a time in executive session. Each person who wishes to comment will have up to 5 minutes to speak until the 30-minute time limit is reached. When I ask for public comment, please state your name, and if you have a student matter or a personnel matter, please state that information as well. Do we have anyone who wishes to comment? Seeing none, I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the following matters: a facility use matter, a litigation matter, and student discipline matters. I need a motion only.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Chase will come back and inform you whether we stay in executive session. The next board meeting is scheduled for Thursday, October 16th at 10 a.m. Thank you.